Hey folks, Jackdaw here. It's the start of August and you know what that means. Today I am covering all the latest news updates that occurred in July regarding the next Dragon Age. EA Play 2021 has come and gone with no new material from BioWare. However, surprisingly, there's still plenty of news to cover. We have new Antivan Crow concept art to dissect. VentureBeat have shared a 2023 release window with more info to come in 2022. BioWare have had some staff promotions, and there is a heavily rumoured Dragon Age Netflix show in the works. Also, I have a small tease at the end for a very exciting video that's coming this week that not a single one of you is going to want to miss. It's that big and cool and exciting. Anyhow, like a nug on fire, let's get straight into breaking down the latest updates. In compensation for no Dragon Age news at EA Play 2021, executive producer Christian Daly shared a brand new concept art piece along with the statement that the team have their heads down with a lot of momentum and are making great progress. They are excited to share more when the time is right, which is not at the moment. Christian revealed a concept art piece that featured Antiva's deadly house of assassins known as the Antivan Crows, which is exactly like I predicted in my June news update, that the next faction-based concept art piece would revolve around the Antivan Crows. The piece itself is beautiful, showcasing the crows with an elegant and classy style. I am getting Batman vibes from the center crow as she stands overlooking the city's rooftops, ready to fight with her shiny rapier. Her outfit is very sophisticated and gothic. It's clearly denoting the Antivan Crow's aesthetic with her raven-like mask, furry cloak, and dark colours. Perhaps only the Antivan Crow talons can look as ritzy as her, because the following Antivan Crows in this concept art piece aren't as posh as she is. A male fighter on the rooftops has a bird-like mask with a furry cloak. It's a nice get-up, but not nearly as snazzy as our main crow lady. The rest of the crows are seemingly fighting against invading Venatori or another Tevinter faction, given the fashion sense of the defeated falling warrior. There's another Antivan Crow to the right who looks as if they're flying through the city. Perhaps they've just jumped from a rooftop and then intend on stabbing more fools. All the while a crowd of civilians watch from a balcony, probably enjoying the sights of the crows in action. In summary, this concept art piece does a spectacular job at showcasing the Antivan Crow's aesthetic, tone, and mood. I'm eagerly excited to see the Crow's involvement in the next game, and if next hero can actually play as one. Even if we can't, judging the concept art and the trailers, it seems like Antiva will feature quite prominently in the next game, which is incredibly exciting. While the Antivan Crow concept art piece was compensation for BioWare's lack of Dragon Age news at EA Play 2021, there was actually a very peculiar orb in the EA Play title ships during the livestream. And not just any orb, but a very familiar Elven Gods orb that has somehow been patched together. Does this mean that Solas has found a way to fix his orb? Is that what his future plan entails, to use the orb again? Or was this just a tiny little tease thrown in the showcase to excite the Dragon Age fans watching and has no relevance going forward? It's probably the latter, let's not fool ourselves, but regardless of EA's intention with this tease, the orb was a significant MacGuffin for Solas's plan to destroy the Veil. With its very mention and appearance, it could indicate what Solas plans to do next. If of course Solas has the orb in his possession. If not, perhaps someone else has retrieved the orb and patched it up instead. Who knows? Nevertheless, it was still nice to see a very small Dragon Age tease at EA Play 2021. Moving onwards to a story that won't surprise anyone who's watched my latest videos on Dragon Age 4's potential release window. Jeff Grubb via VentureBeat reported that Dragon Age 4 is expected for a 2023 release window. Even further, according to Jeff, we'll start hearing more about the next game in 2022. Let's crack into the scoop on this one and I will share my thoughts after going through the article. Jeff Grubb shared that sources familiar with the next Dragon Age have confirmed that the game is on track for a release in 2023. When Jeff reached out to EA about this release date, a spokesperson said that the company hasn't announced a date and has no plans to share it yet. Holding back during EA Play 2021 was about enabling the publisher to get the game into position to begin marketing it in earnest. That will likely start in 2022. Jeff continued with his expectations for the next Dragon Age and shared that BioWare are building the next Dragon Age as a single-player narrative adventure just like the previous entries in the series. Of course, that doesn't mean the game won't have an online multiplayer. That was one of the major features of Dragon Age Inquisition. Jeff ended his article on the notion that BioWare first announced Dragon Age 4 in 2018. At that time, he reported the game was at least 3 years away. If it is now now out by 2023, that will make it 5 years since its reveal, and don't we know it, Jeff? If Dragon Age 4 is actually coming out in 2023, that will have been a 9-year gap since Dragon Age Inquisition. But obviously I am not complaining, we want as much time on the next Dragon Age as possible. As per usual, I have many thoughts on this news. I do trust Jeff Grubb, he has a good reputation and validity among the video games press industry, not to mention I was literally saying the exact same thing a month ago, given several factors in the next Dragon Age's development that undoubtedly call for a 2023 release date, like the pandemic's delays, the project's current production time, the single player turnaround, and BioWare's new approach to management and crunch conditions. And honestly, given each of these factors, I do want the next Dragon Age to take as much time as it can in its development stages, just so it can be as incredible as BioWare can muster, and so that each of the developers can have as much time as they want working away on the project and avoiding as much crunch as possible. If you ask me, it's been pretty obvious the next Dragon Age is still a while away, given that we're still only seeing pre-production work like concept art and prototype trailers, which I am not criticizing, by the way. I love seeing all of it and I love dissecting anything related to the next Dragon Age. But I do think that anyone who has advocated for a 2022 release date, or even earlier, needs to grasp that it's only been 2 years since BioWare released Anthem. That's only 2 years since the majority of the Dragon Age team returned to work on the next Dragon Age, which has had an influx in its direction and development since then too. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is, the more time the next Dragon Age spends in its production stages, where the bulk of development happens, surely the better the game could be. As to the more info in 2022 tease that Jeff touched on, I'm all for a proper marketing campaign by BioWare, having weekly or bi-weekly or monthly posts on Dragon Age 4 by the official Dragon Age social media team. Hell yes, I cannot wait for the day. And hearing that that could be in 2022, I'm all here for that. I cannot wait. However, I do wonder if we'll still see a new Dragon Age trailer this year, like BioWare initially announced back in December 2020. Of course, Jeff Grubb has gone behind the scenes and has been talking to sources. However, this news hasn't came out by BioWare, and so I do wonder what internally BioWare are thinking with regards to releasing something this year, if they are going to begin marketing in 2022. Gamescom is just around the corner, and if not that, we've got Dragon Age Day and the Game Awards 2021. And BioWare said that we're going to see something on the next Dragon Age this year. So is that still going to be the case? I feel fairly confident that we'll still see something, regardless of this new information by Jeff Grubb, because BioWare have said that they would, unless they gave us a proper reason and explained a little bit more, maybe even a blog post by the executive producer or the creative director, just sharing a little bit about what's going on with Dragon Age if we're not going to see a trailer this year, just backing up that reasoning. Maybe, I don't know. I suppose it's just a matter of if they are still up for that, if they still can, if they have the resources to actually enable a team to create a trailer, and what exactly they'd have to show off in that trailer. Would it be a new hero trailer? Would it just be an environmental in-engine trailer? Or would it be more like a dev diary like the Gamescom trailer? I don't know. Again, I'm still hopeful and I'm still counting on to BioWare's word above what Jeff is saying here, because of course, trust the official source over than just rumors and speculation. So I'm still banking on seeing something on Dragon Age 4 this year. But what do you think about a new trailer, given the fact that BioWare are going to market the game properly next year with a 2023 release window? Do you think we'll see a new trailer, and what sort of trailer do you think we could see? Moving on to a quicker, smaller story, congratulations are in order for Blair Thorburn, as he started a new role at BioWare as a lead systems designer on the next Dragon Age. I'm wishing you incredibly well on this new position, Blair, and hoping all the best for you and the team. And that brings us to the final story of the day, something that has incredibly awoken the fandom and has got us all pretty excited, even if it is just a rumor. Giant Freaking Robot have shared that there's a Dragon Age Netflix show in the works. The news site's official stance is that they've received an exclusive, trusted and proven source that Dragon Age is getting a series on Netflix, and the show is in active development right now. Now, I did share a lot of my thoughts on this in my latest Landsmeet episode with Ethan Baron Sitzkrieg, so if you'd like more of my immediate thoughts, check that podcast out. However, we both agreed that an animated Dragon Age show with the team behind Castlevania with Trevor Morris doing the soundtrack would be an epic concept for a Netflix show. On the other hand though, I really enjoy Netflix's live action Witcher show. While it's a completely different feel to Dragon Age and Netflix's Witcher show is based on the books, not the games, it still proves that Netflix can do dark fantasy pretty well and acquire an amazing team to get behind the project. So I wouldn't be completely against Netflix doing doing the same with Dragon Age. More things to see and talk about regarding my favourite gaming series? Hell yes, of course I'd be up for that. To reinforce the idea of a potential Netflix Dragon Age show, there was an EA earnings call in 2019 that said that there are plans for the next Dragon Age and some other products as well. So we know that EA are interested in expanding the Dragon Age universe even further. It just depends if this very specific rumour relates to that. I'd say take this Netflix show rumour with a grain of salt. If it does end up being true, hell yes, we can absolutely be excited for that. But for the moment, it is just a rumour by a somewhat reputable news site, but there's still no official announcement or statement from BioWare. So we shall see in time if this rumour does end up being true. Here's hoping, right? I would love more content in my favourite universe. Even if it is live action or animated and I don't necessarily have a choice in the narrative direction or seeing my own canon world state, I would still like more expansion for Dragon Age. What would you folks like to see for a potential Dragon Age show? Throw your ideas down below and I might even create a community spotlight video on that topic in the future if I get a good chunk of ideas from you all. But before I leave you all to return to the Dragon Age drought, something big is coming to my channel this week. Something that should quench your thirst for a little bit. I'm not going to spoil the surprise just yet, but if you love huge lore drops and so much more, you should keep an eye out because something that I've never done before is coming, and it's coming very soon. So follow me on Twitter and have notifications on my channel for the moment it drops. But until then, why not check out my blog or support me as a channel member or patron? Regardless, you are already in the right place for all the latest news and speculation on the next Dragon Age. I have been Jackdaw, and I should go. Wahoo whoa, wahoo whoa.